We have one last speaker who I'm just delighted to bring to you, JolenPhilbrook. In 2008, she was diagnosed with a rare type of breast cancer. During that time, she also went through a custody suit and had no income. Then in 2010, she survived kidney cancer. Now she shares her wisdom and experience through those challenging times. She was talking about, how do I tell this heavy story without having a sense of traumatizing myself or the audience. So we're going to get to see how. She's known as an expert in inspiring women to find power within themselves, to transform their life and integrate a new way of being. She's gifted at helping you attract more joy and success in your life by clearing limiting beliefs and hurtful emotions so you can find your inner strength, freedom, and happiness to live your greatest life. She's completed her advanced training for spiritual awareness with the Church of Essence, is in the process of becoming a spiritual practitioner. She's got a long, long line of credentials. I'm not going to read them all, but she's got an enormous amount of credibility. She's been studying the spirit-mind-body connection since 1976. So please help me in welcoming Jolen.
How many of you remember The Wizard of Oz?
Yes.
It's one of my favorites. It speaks about the hero's journey. Remember Dorothy, the little girl with the brown pigtails? One of my favorite scenes is where she's leaning over the fence, dreaming for better days, somewhere over the rainbow, where the dreams you dare to dream come true. Have you ever done that? Dreamt for better days? I have. Way off in the distance, there's a storm that's brewing. You may remember that scene or not. It comes in, it swirls around, it picks up the house and drops it in the land of Oz. Have you ever gone through a storm where your whole life has been turned around and you don't know if you're coming or going? I have. It happened one day when I opened the garage door. There's my husband polishing a brand new motorcycle. Honey, why did you buy a motorcycle? Because I wanted to. Wow, I wonder what he's thinking. What's going on in his head? Something's off here. His mother just passed. She was his rock. He's going to be turning 50 soon. Maybe he's having a midlife crisis. I better check. Honey, what would you like to do for your 50th birthday party? Silence. Would you like to go on vacation? Would you like to have a big party? I didn't know it at the time, but a storm was brewing. He went from family man to Hugh Hefner with a girlfriend in every port. Of course, that led us down the yellow brick road to our divorce. I felt hurt and betrayed, like a sword went through my heart and out the back. I felt thrown away like the trash. There goes 20 years. I put on my armor, but yet I'm hollow on the inside. The storm strikes again. This time, it's 3 years after my divorce. My son comes home. Mom, I don't feel safe at Dad's house. He's snorting a white powder and taking alcohol into the car. Oh no, what am I going to do? I have to protect my son. That was the beginning of the custody suit. Now, around this time, my ex turns into the Wicked Witch of the West and comes riding in on his broom. I'm going to get you. I'm going to make your life miserable. And he does. The threatening phone calls start day and night. I'm going to ruin you. You can't keep my son from me. And it goes on. One night, I was in bed tossing and turning. I couldn't sleep. It was as if the Wicked Witch was in my head. I was replaying those threatening phone calls. I'm going to ruin you. You're going to spend all your money at the lawyer, and you're going to lose your house and the car, and you're going to be homeless. Oh. Finally, I started worrying if that wasn't enough. I started worrying about how am I going to keep my house and pay my bills. Finally, I drift off to sleep. Look, up there. It's a pink bubble. And down floats Glenda, who protects and guides Dorothy on the yellow brick road and gives her these beautiful, magical shoes. I believe we all have a Glenda, a higher power that guides us and protects us. That same evening, I was awoken by a voice. One could say it was the voice of God, who asked, "Do you want to live?" Oh my gosh, that's such a deep question. I really don't know the answer. What's another question? Have you loved? Oh, that one's easier. And I think about all the people I love. I think of my son. I cannot leave my son with his father. I have to protect my son. I'm choosing to live. I didn't know it at that time, but a storm was brewing. If you've ever been in any court case, you know it's very stressful. And around this time, I noticed a rash on my breast. I thought it was poison oak. It did not go away. I go to the doctor, who sends me for a mammogram, sends me for a biopsy. I'm in the dressing room getting ready for the biopsy, and I remember a premonition dream. I'm standing on the stage, holding the mic, talking to an audience of women, telling them I survived breast cancer. It turned out to be a rare type of breast cancer. It's called Paget's disease. It does not show up in mammograms. It's always found with a secondary cancer, which was invasive. I had a mastectomy, went through chemo. A year later, I had kidney cancer. So you can imagine this was a very difficult time. It's kind of like when Dorothy was traveling on the yellow brick road and she came to the crossroad. She didn't know which way to go, and she met the scarecrow who wanted a brain. I wish I could have had my brain under control. They call it chemo brain. You take any negative thought, turn up the dial 1,000 times. The thoughts were, I'm not good enough, I'm damaged, I'm never going to make it. And it was worse. Recently, I went to a women's event, and there on the stage was a speaker talking about sexual abuse while she was getting her hair cut. Eventually, they shaved her head. I was so touched by that scene, tears strolled down my face, because it takes courage to be on a stage and have your head shaved. And it reminded me of a time when my head was shaved. It was 2009. It's my son's 8th grade graduation. He is so excited, and I am so proud of him. And I want to look beautiful for his graduation. I'm combing my hair, but locks of it are falling out. They told me I'd lose my hair, but I didn't think so fast after the first treatment of chemo. I go and have my head shaved, and I cry because I lose my identity. When I was little, like 7, I had really long hair, and it was a tangled mess. My mom's always combing it. Ouch, 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 ouch. I hated long hair, so I decided to get it cut into a pixie cut. I'm so excited. I'm going home to show my dad. What did you do to your hair? You look so ugly. And he shunned me. I thought If I had beautiful hair, I would be beautiful. What lie have you told yourself about your identity? So we're skipping down the yellow brick road, and off in the distance we hear, mm-mm, mm-mm, squeak, 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 squeak. Oh, thanks. I needed that. I'm the Tin Man. I don't have a heart. I was a different kind of Tin Man. I wore my armor on the inside so nobody could see my broken heart. I had to learn to love myself. I used to have beautiful round breasts and a flat stomach. After cancer, I'd get undressed, look in the mirror. Oh my God, what happened? Huge scar, no boob. Oh. Finally, I realized if I used the Hawaiian prayer, the Ho'oponopono, I could heal those parts of myself that I've disowned and dislike. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. In the beginning, I would cry when I did this. And then I realized I am not my body. This is not who I really am. My true essence is a beautiful spiritual being that's full of light and love. And the love radiates out from my heart to all those that I know. That is my true essence, not my body. It's just the vehicle I use. So we go skipping down the yellow brick road, and I bet you know the next character we're going to meet, the Cowardly Lion. So I believe we are all brave because we have chosen to be here and have this life experience. You're brave because you are alive at this point in time. It takes courage to fight the Wicked Witch of the West and stand up for yourself. It takes courage to go through the storm and not build a house and live there. It takes courage to love yourself, even the parts that are not perfect. It takes courage to forgive yourself. So here's some questions I invite you to ask yourself, which I ask myself often. First of all, do you believe everything you think, or do you tell yourself a few lies? Do you love yourself, all the parts of you? And do you have the courage to take care of yourself, eat healthy, rest, and maybe you might need to say the word no? So I'm going to leave you with this quote. Glinda, the Good Witch. She said, "Home is not a place. Home is a knowing. Home is knowing your mind, knowing your heart, knowing courage. And when you know yourself, you are always home." Thank you.